Good afternoon, and thank you for joining today for Westmont Webinars Rightsizing for Seniors. Westmont Webinars originated to enlighten, energize, and educate senior audiences and their families affected by the COVID-19 shelter-in-place. As we know, seniors are our most vulnerable population, and during these times of physical distancing and uncertainty, many older adults and caregivers are feeling withdrawn, isolated, lonely, and agitated. Westmont Webinars offers multiple benefits to seniors by encouraging and engaging positive thinking and stress-reducing webinars focused on senior health and wellness. I'd like to start by introducing you to our moderator and speakers. My name is Mickey Bellin, and I am part of the community outreach team at Westmont of Milpitas. I hope to build a supportive and caring community in Milpitas that is dedicated to the well-being of our elderly. As an adult child with aging parents, I understand the challenges and frustrations we face as we navigate through caregiving choices, needs, and costs, especially during these times like these. Please meet Cheryl Bravo. Cheryl is Executive Director of Westmont of Milpitas. Cheryl's mission is to improve the health of our residents and staff with a commitment to promote the quality of care and to improve programs so they exceed resident expectations while nurturing, caring, convenient, and cost-effective accessibility. Cheryl's vision is to be a role model for leaders dedicated to continual learning and extraordinary care in the healthcare industry. Our featured speaker, Sandi Menderson, is a certified move manager by the National Association of Senior Move Managers. Sandi founded Bella Reflections, which is going into its 10th year of business, is A+ certified by the Better Business Bureau, and a member of Move for Hunger and National Care Planning Council. The Bella Reflections philosophy is to ease the moving process for seniors and their families by providing personalized services sensitive to their needs. Bella Reflections believes that by understanding the complicated nature of family structures, lifestyle desires, and the diverse senior housing available, along with the essential needs of seniors, they bring peace of mind for those difficult choices seniors face. During our presentation, please keep your lines muted, and if you have questions or would like to participate in the discussion, please add your questions to the chat. Now, without further ado, please welcome Sandi Menderson.
As Nikki said, my name's Sandi Menderson, and I am the owner of Bella Reflections Incorporated. We have been in business 10 years. Our mission was really for the transition service of assisting seniors and their families with the emotional and physical aspects of relocating. As we all know, my parents went through it as well. I am a certified senior move manager. My office and business is in San Diego, actually in the Rancho Bernardo area. I have about 23 employees and a full-time office staff. The areas that I wanted to touch upon today that I think are very important, and one is a new area that I had to add because we were not in this pandemic, is COVID and moving. So I'm going to touch upon that a little bit and just share with you what we've been doing in our company to facilitate the moves even with this pandemic. I'm going to touch upon the right-sizing process. It is no longer called downsizing. That was too negative. So NASM has called it right-sizing. And I'm going to touch upon that as well. A lot of people don't understand the difference between an estate sale, which is an on-site estate sale. They also have virtual tour estate sales. There are buyout clean-out companies, and then also donation. So I'm going to kind of explain all the differences of those. I am not a realtor, but I work with many, as you can tell by moving so many people. So I'm just going to give you a little synopsis and some ideas about preparing your home for the market. And then if there's time permitting, I will go through the whole moving process that Bella Reflections does beginning to end. So that'll kind of give you an idea what senior move managers do. We all do it a little bit different. But this way it'll give you an idea as to what services we all offer and the process and how it works. So COVID has put a stop to our normal routines. I will have to tell you that. Moving, though, is still considered an essential part of our lives. So my business never stopped. I did lose a little bit of my staff. They were a little worried about going out, but we did, with our moving companies, continue to work. Now that things are a little bit better, it's gotten a little bit easier, but we all had to follow the CDC rules and all the requirements for the safety protocols. So the social distancing, the sanitization, and the mask, gloves, we all wear those now. My movers are wearing them as well. The moving trucks, to be very honest with you, have never been cleaner. So that's kind of been a positive. They do have to sterilize those moving trucks. Most of the companies are now getting away from boxes, believe it or not, because they're finding that if the germ does stay on a box, could be up to 72 hours. So on some of our moves that we've had to do, we actually had to leave our boxes after we unpacked. We had to break them down and leave them on the patio at the client's residence for 72 hours, and the movers came back to pick them up. So we've had a lot of conversations since, and now chatting with them, they've kind of decided a lot of them are going to the bins, which are not the boxes. Nothing can live on a bin, and they do sanitize and spray them. So that's been a real plus that we've been using for most of our moves. If you are packing yourself just because of this pandemic, I would not suggest using any, back in the day we would go to the grocery store and get recycled boxes. With this, I would definitely not recommend recycled boxes. You need to either get brand new if you're going to pack yourself, or the moving companies have these bins. So that's something that's kind of important. I won't say it's been easy during this pandemic. As I had said to you earlier, that we had a lot of strict guidelines of things that we need to follow. All the communities kind of have their differences as to how many of the movers are allowed into the units for unpack day, and how many of, such as Bella staff, if you did have a move management company. So you need to really check with the community and check with Westmont and the marketing team to just kind of see what any of those guidelines might be, because it's really important, and it helps us on our end as well. One really important thing that I've found through many of our clients that we have moved, and I think it's important to stress this to all of you, is don't let this pandemic frighten you from moving, because what I have seen is my clients, especially my single clients that have lost a spouse and they live alone and maybe they don't drive, they are actually feeling safer, they're feeling happier, it's peace of mind to their kids, because now they have their meals, they don't have to worry about going out and doing the grocery shopping or having things delivered. They have their health medications and things like that are there. They have all the social distancings, and all the communities are doing those as well. So don't let COVID stop you from thinking about doing that move. And one of the things that I find is really important, and I can't stress this enough, that what I have seen through my 10 years of doing this is the quality of life of my clients that move. It's amazing how much happier they seem. They all come back to me and say, gosh, Sandi, I wish I had done this sooner. I wish I hadn't have put it off. So if there's anything you take away today, I think it's really important to make this decision sooner than later, and make it when you're able to be the independent one making those decisions, and it's not your kids dictating where you might need to go or a health issue. So if anything, just, keep that in mind and not put it off for so long. So with all of that, it's kind of just touching upon the COVID, I want to get into the more fun things. So we're going to talk about the right sizing, which it's really important that when you are getting ready to make a move, the place to start your purging and getting rid of the things that you no longer want is where you currently live. Don't do what too many people have done and made the mistake of saying, you know what, I'm just going to take it with me and I'll deal with it when I get there. That is such a mistake. This is a time and place in your home. And with COVID and a lot of downtime, it's a great time to start going through your closets, your drawers, your kitchen, your files, the garage. There's lots of things that you could be doing now to be going through those things. So I do have a handout, and if you're wanting this, I believe Westmont has it. If not, we'll put something up on the screen and we can get it to you. And it's called 10 Tips to Right-Sizing and De-Stressing Your Move. And obviously number 10, and it's the most important, is start early and end happy. So it's never too early to begin that right-sizing process. And the best way to do this is what we have found is if you're trying to do this, and you can definitely do a lot of this on your own, but we as senior move managers come in and we help with this whole process. But the best way to do it is to be one, very realistic as to how much you can do each day. Set up a schedule. Okay, today I'm going to tackle the office. And don't jump around. Don't go start in the office and do a few things there and then go to the kitchen, because you will spin. Your head will go crazy and you will start thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to get rid of all this? Where do I go from here? So the best thing to do is to take one room at a time. Start at that room, start on one side of that room, and work your way around the room until you are completely done with that room. Maybe give yourself 2 days. Maybe if there's not that much in there, you're going to say, okay, I'm going to work 3 hours today in this room and go through my belongings. And that's the best way to do it. Also, get generous. You know, now's the time. There's a lot of things maybe that you've had for many, many years, and now maybe it's time to think, wow, I've enjoyed this for so long. Maybe it's time to let somebody else enjoy it. A lot of times give things to neighbors, to family, to friends. So there's a lot of things that you can do to get generous. Donate things to churches, organizations. Books are a big thing. Everybody has books, and unfortunately a lot of our folks want to bring all their books to the community that they're moving to. So you have to realize they would have way too many books. So there's a lot of really good ideas you can do with the books. There's libraries, there's schools. We drop off a lot of books to schools. We do a lot at UCSD. We have a lot of clients that were physicians or had wonderful careers, and so we've taken a lot of their books to different colleges, and again, as I said, to schools as well, elementary school, middle schools. So think about your books. Use it up or don't move it out is my motto. And why I say this is a lot of people bring expired foods. So when you're in your kitchen and you're going through those things, you know, as I joke with my clients, if you shake your spices and they don't shake and they don't move, it's probably time to throw them out. They probably have expired. So, you know, go through those kind of things and be sure that, you know, you're not bringing the expired foods and things like that. Recycling toxins, you can always visit earth911.org for any of your cleaning products, paint, hazardous things. They will help you get rid of those. We as senior move managers take care of that for you. If you use a company such as ours, we help you go through all of that. Space plan ahead. So when you're thinking about all this right sizing and you're going through all the things that you want to discard and get rid of, it's kind of nice if you can to have a staging area, so that maybe you have one area, if you have an extra bedroom or something, that you have one area that you can say, okay, and here's going to go all the things that I don't want. These are the things I want to donate. These are the things I want to sell. And you kind of separate all of those things in your home. We as senior move managers, we bring in vendors to come in and bid on those things that you're wanting to sell. We help with the donation. We help with all of the liquidating of the items that you do not want. But if you're doing this on your own, you easily can. It's just getting it organized and keeping it in separate areas. The last thing too is ask for help. You know, don't be too proud or independent. Moving's not easy. So there's, you know, hopefully family can help if they're nearby. They're not always nearby. But don't forget to ask for help, because it's a daunting task to get ready to move. And especially, how many do we know if we've been in our home 20, 30, 40 years and we've accumulated a lot of stuff? And as I said, this is the time and place to do that purging before you make that move. And there's lots of great resources out there to help you with that. The next thing I kind of wanted to touch upon as well is Estate sales. So let's say we've done our right sizing and we've kind of organized. What we do with Bella is we come in and we color code and tag everything separately. So all the things that are going with our residents to their new community is all in blue. And then we use different colors for kids. If the kids want things, we'll either, now we FaceTime, now we can probably Zoom. I didn't know how to do that till this. But if the kids live out of state, we really want to involve the kids as well. So we will bring them in with FaceTime or whatever, and they will tell us things that they're wanting in their parents' home that they're hoping to take, or we would ship those things to them. So once you know what you're taking, after you've done a floor plan design and you kind of know what it is that you're going to take, then we talk about what are we going to do with all the stuff that's not going. I think one of the biggest stumbling blocks that stops all seniors from making the transition to a beautiful senior community like Westmont. We have 3 here in San Diego, and we work in all 3, and they're absolutely phenomenal. Is that, oh my gosh, I have too much stuff. How am I going to get rid of it? Where do I start? Oh, then I have to get a realtor, and the realtor's going to have me remove all the things from my home. So it's just a lot of things that kind of is that stumbling block that stops you from making that move. But really, when you have support from a senior move manager or family, and you really plan it correctly, it's not that difficult. And the end result, you'll wish you had done it a lot sooner. So the options you have when you want to get rid of the things that you're wanting to do would be, one would be an estate sale. There's an on-site estate sale that you would be having in your home. Now, usually when an estate sale takes place, and this is really important to remember, you no longer live there, okay? On an estate sale, you do not live there. It's not like a garage sale. This is in your home. Most, 90% of the estate sale vendors that I work with do not have the residents in their home. So everything that you wanted is gone. It's out of the home. Everything that left is for sale, for the estate sale. The estate sale people, it usually takes 2 weeks to set up an estate sale. So if you need your funds from escrow, really important, then an estate sale is going to be a little bit tougher for you to do because you don't live there, and you'll need to either rent back, you'll have to discuss it with your realtor, and you'll either need to rent back or work out a timetable if you do decide to have an estate sale. As I said, it takes 2 weeks. The first week, they wash all your things, they price it, they set the tables up, and then they do the advertising. There's a lot of estate sale followers that we have from LA that come down to San Diego. There's so many here, and it's like a little cult of its own. I mean, they're all followers, and they kind of know exactly where they are. If you have specific pieces or a collection of something, a lot of times my estate sale people, and I use appraisers as well that come in for my clients, what we do there is they'll come in ahead of time and appraise certain things and say, you know what, this has a lot of value. This is worthy of auction, and instead of an estate sale. And so we'll remove those things, and then we will take care of it either in Christie's in Los Angeles, Sotheby's, or Branham's Art in San Francisco. And I have a cute story I'll share with you in a minute about that. But really important that your real valuable things you don't want to have in an estate sale, especially if it's a piece, like I'm saying, things that are auction worthy. And that's when I bring our appraiser in to let you know that. So in an estate sale, as I said, you're not there. They set it up the first week, they advertise. The estate sales usually run Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and they lower the price as it goes. Really important when you are signing a contract with an estate sale company is that read the fine line. There really should not be a setup fee at all. Also, what's really important is that there is a conflict of interest if on the last day when they do a clean out, they call it, when they do the clean out, a different company needs to be coming to do the clean out and the buyout. If the same company that's setting up your estate sale, and we have had this happen, that is a conflict of interest. So you need to be very careful. Those are important questions that you would need to be sure that you're asking them when you are setting up an estate sale. And again, they usually by Sunday, everything's marked down, and then, as I said, they have somebody clean it all out on Monday. So that's an estate sale. There are now virtual estate sales that they are doing now, one because of COVID, but we still have had some estate sales here in San Diego, even with COVID. Everybody's wearing masks, and they're only letting so many people come into the home to view the things on an estate sale. But the other option with an estate sale would be a buyout cleanout. And this is really important to understand what a buyout is. It's different than an estate sale. A buyout is one company that will come into your residence. They will figure out what it costs to clear out your entire house. They take the good, the bad, the ugly, we call it. They will take your paint. They will take your, cleaning products, barbecues. They take beds. They take everything. What they do is they will figure out what the cost of a clean out would be. So an example would be they're going to come in and say it will cost you $2,000 to do a clean out of your home, but you have $1,000 worth of sellable goods that he's going to turn around and sell in his shop. So now your clean out is $1,000 instead of $2,000, and he's taking everything. A lot of times, the vendors that I have been using over the last 10 years, they weren't as picky as they have become now. So what we're finding actually works better than a buyout clean out. The beautiful thing, and the realtors do love that because they take everything and it's all cleared out. And they do it all in one day. But what we're finding is we call them cherry pickers. We bring our vendors in, and always bring at least 2 to 3. You need to get more than one. Bring 2 to 3 vendors in and have them bid on the things that you want to sell. They will only then purchase and remove right then, or you can make up, a timetable as to when you want them to pick those things up. But they will then come buy the things that you're approving that their bids are, and then we then know what's really left in your house probably doesn't have a lot of value. And so we then use donation companies. We work with Salvation Army up in Los Angeles. We have our own dispatch there, and we give them so much business that they basically do a free clean out. There's no charge, and you can take the write-off. So that's the other option that we've kind of been using as well. Another thing to remember on an estate sale, it's just as it is in the industry, they all take 35 to 50% off the top. So just know going into that, don't be shocked. And some are even, I don't think anybody, there was a 60-40, but most of them are 35, 38% to 50% that they take. So those are kind of your 3 options, which is estate sale, the buyout, the clean out, and donation. We had a really cute, well, turned out to be a fabulous story, but I had a darling little lady, and I was there doing a consultation, and we were getting her all set up on our timeline. And she said, I said, look at these 2 pieces of art. They're just beautiful. She goes, I think my husband got those at a garage sale. And I said, well, gosh, they are just beautiful. I said, I would love my appraiser to come out. She goes, no, she said, I'm going to give those to my neighbor. She really wants them. She's been very helpful to me, and I'm just going to give them to my neighbor. And I said, you know what? Do me a favor and let me just have Carol come out and have her appraise those and just look at them. Or I can take pictures of them. And so this is what we did. Carol came out. We ended up sending those to Branham's in San Francisco. She got $32,000 for each one. They were something very unique, very rare. I mean, so my comment for that is don't throw anything away. If you're not sure, get an appraiser to come in and look at some of the things that you have. And if you do hire a management company like us, a senior move management company, we have those people that we have certified appraisers that we bring in to our client's home to look at all those things. So don't give anything away too quickly. So the other thing I wanted to talk about is preparing to put your home on the market. Very interesting. There's lots is happening out there. First and foremost, it's a fabulous market right now. You would not think it is. It's dynamite. Homes are not staying on the market very long at all, especially homes that are between 700,000 on down. Most of those up in the low millions are going faster than they were a year ago, but maybe not as fast as the less expensive homes. 3 things I would suggest that you do. 1, interview at least 3 realtors. If somebody tells you, oh, this realtor's great, that's wonderful, interview them, but at least interview at least 2 more. I always tell my clients, interview at least 3 realtors, see who's going to be a good fit for you. It's really important because now with COVID, a lot of open houses are not happening. They're kind of doing the virtual tour, and you can see them on the internet. There was one that one of my clients did want to have, and they had a spectacular home, and it didn't show as well on the internet. So they all decided to do an open house. And as I said, kind of like the estate sale, it's all by appointment only. You know, it's not like a Sunday afternoon you can drive around and pop in. Most of them are by appointment only. And then they were able to go in and actually have the open house. If you do have an open house, just a couple tips, little things that you can do. One, for me as a stager and interior design is my pet peeve. I think curb appeal, believe it or not, is really important. I think most people can drive up in front of your home, and all you need to do is put some fresh flowers out, maybe some new bark, you know, make sure either yourself or your gardener, whoever, just trim things up. You know, you don't need to do a full-blown landscaping, but it really helps to have that curb appeal. When somebody steps into your home, they say it takes 15 seconds, and they know whether they want to continue touring in your home or not. So be sure that what you need to remember is your home that you're selling is now just a house. And that's kind of a mindset that you need to remember. You're going to go to your new home, but this now is just a house because you want to sell it. It's on the market. You want to sell it. You want to get the best price that you can for it. So you have to get in that mindset. The one thing that you need to do, and I know a lot of realtors will come in and say, take this down, take that down. Sometimes I agree with it, and sometimes as a stager, I'm thinking, well, they still need to feel a little of that warmth that you have in your home. You don't want to walk into this sterile home. But what they need to do is they need to walk in and they need to visualize their things in your home. If you have too much furniture or too big of stuff, or let's say you have a fabulous view out your window, but you have it blocked with a curio or a big couch or something like that, you need to think about, we call it the elephant in the room. You want them to be able to walk in and visualize, as I said, their belongings in that home. So just something to remember, and you can work with your realtor on that as well. I used to always either bake cookies before they would come for my open house, put cinnamon on, you know, there's lots of little things that you can do that just kind of make your house smell wonderful when you're putting it on the market. But I know with our changing times now, things are a little bit more difficult. There are out there, and a lot of people are not aware of this, there is companies out there, one in particular that I work with, and what they do, the company I work with is Senior Home Purchase Program, but I've worked with others as well. They're different than a traditional realtor. As you remember, your traditional realtor, what they do is they're going to come in and talk about home repairs. You're going to have the open houses. There's going to be negotiations with the buyer. There's going to be commissions and closing costs. So that's your traditional. And I would say if your home is $600,000 on up, and you have done some remodeling, this program I'm going to tell you about might not be for you. You might be better off and get more money for what you have, what your home offers, going with a traditional realtor. But this new program, and it's not really new, and we've been working with them for about 3 or 4 years now. What it is they are basically brokers. They are real estate agents, but they're brokers. And they come in to your home and bring an appraiser. They have you bring your own appraiser in. The 2 appraisers, as is, will look at your home, and you're going to get a set price. That program, what they will do is they will come to you and say, I will give you $565,000 for your home, as is. You don't do closing costs. There is no commissions. There is nothing. 30 days, you have a check. So a lot of times we use this program for our clients, our seniors that have not spent any money on remodeling. They haven't upgraded their home. This is a perfect program. It really is, because your realtor is going to, and I believe in both. So I'm just giving you all the education of both so that you're aware of it. But the traditional realtor is definitely going to, want to price your home a little higher. Be careful of that, because sometimes they're going to tell you what you want to hear, but your home might not be worth that much, but they'll get the listing from you. So, do your due diligence, do your homework, and that's why I always say interview at least 3 realtors. But what's been really great about the senior home purchase program is it's done in 30 days. If your unit at Westmont is not ready yet, or whatever reason it might be, they just let you stay there. I mean, it's such a wonderful program. And within 30 days, you have a check for that amount that you agreed upon. There is no staging, nothing else that you need to do. When I first heard it, I thought, oh, this is too good to be true. Where's the catch? And I actually met with the owners, and it's really been a fabulous program for my seniors. But again, it's not for everyone. If you do have a higher end home and it's worth more and you have done remodeling, this would not be the program that I would use. But definitely if you have not done any remodeling, that is just another option. And you can contact us if you need them. There's probably those in your area as well that do the same thing. But these folks just work with seniors. That's all. They just work with seniors, and they're wonderful. So let's see. I kind of would like to just kind of go through briefly kind of the Bella process of what we do, just to kind of share with you what senior move management is all about. And again, everybody runs their programs a little bit different and different services. For us, we're called Bella Reflections, and it's kind of beautiful reflections of our seniors. For me, as a stager and interior decorator, I really wanted to build my business on the decorator piece. That was very, very important to me. So for my company, what we do is all of my clients are assigned, once a community will call and say, we have a depositor that's coming in. And as we know, usually once you sign, you have that 90-day until you take financial possession. So, and a lot of times it happens sooner. And we work with that as well. We're used to that. But what we do is each one of my clients are assigned a team lead, or like a project manager. They are with you the entire process. They are with you. We are a handheld service. You are assigned to one person, and that one person is your project manager and team lead. They are with you through everything. What that everything entails, once we meet with you, we get your floor plan from the community. So Westmont would send us your floor plan of the unit that you're moving into. We go over and measure with a tech. We have techs that will take care of all of your electronics, your computers, your television, everything. So a team lead and a tech will go over to the community, to your unit. We measure up every single square inch. I know the communities give us these floor plans and they're great, but we all find they're a little bit different in some of the measurements. So we like to know where the thermostats are, where the light switches are, where the cable locations are, how many cupboards are in the kitchen, how many drawers are in the kitchen, what is the width, what's the depth, what's the closet configuration, how much hanging space do we have, do we need to add another rod? All those things that are going to make your life so much easier when we start that right sizing process with you, because now we know your new space, what you're going to be moving into, and we want to make sure we're doing our job by helping you bring exactly what's going to fit in your new space. So once they measure the floor plan at the community, then what they do is they will go back to your home. We have a beautiful floor planner, and again, all the senior move managers, I'm sure, do the same thing. We have a beautiful floor planner we blow up to 1/4 inch scale, and we measure up all the pieces in your home that you're hoping to take. We kind of have our A list and our B list, and if certain things fit, we do it to 1/4 inch scale because we are all about safe space. When we lay out a floor plan, we want 28 to 32 inches of safe space. That's for a wheelchair, a walker, you have friends that might come over. We need to make sure we have really good egress between the furniture and into each of the rooms. So that's really important that we lay it out to 28 to 32 inches of safe space. So your team lead then will be working with you. You'll sit with her. It's all magnetized to 1/4 inch scale. It's really fun. It's, you know, like the old cutouts that we used to do back in the day. And it's really fun. And they can, and our clients literally see their space and they go, oh, you're right. That curio is going to be too big there. Well, then let's try this piece. So it gives you lots of great options and you're hands-on. You're a part of it, which is really, really important that you're a part of it. Once the floor plan's been done, we number and tag all the furniture. Again, for us, everything is blue. Everything will have a number. If a curio is number 7 on our floor plan, everything on and in that curio gets boxed up in a box that's labeled Curio 7. If a lamp is on a table and the table is 5, the lamp, the shade, the bulb, the finial, all are labeled 5, so everything's going to get put back for you exactly like you have it. What we try to do is we go in and we take lots of photographs of your home. So we know exactly how your nightstands are, what's on them, what's on your coffee table, how your dining room table is put together. We look in your cupboards. Are your glasses up or are they down? We pay attention to every single detail. In your bathroom, we go toothbrush, 2nd shelf right, ibuprofen, 3rd to the left. Very detailed, but that's what makes a smooth move. That is exactly what makes these transitions so wonderful for you and for us and for our movers as well. So our movers know how to read our floor plans. They'll walk in. We have it up at the new unit. We'll have it up like at Westmont. As they walk in, they'll go in 7. 07's nightstand on the left. 014's the dining room table. The movers can come in, put those things away. Then my staff comes in and they put everything away for you. We hang all your art, all your mirrors, and then we decorate your home with your beautiful things that you have. And we take care of your electronics, your computers, your televisions. Everything is completely set up for you. So we do that all on one day. That's on move day. So the day before we pack, prior is packing. You're never displaced. You stay in your own home. We leave out your coffee maker. Your team lead prior to that, now you've talked about where maybe you want your art hung. You've had great conversation. You've worked with her usually about a week or 2 prior to your move, you know, depending on when your financial possession date is. And so she knows everything about you. Everybody, we have a timetable that tells you who's coming when, what estate sale people, if they're coming, or what vendors might be coming. So she has a whole timetable that you know exactly what's happening in that 2 to 3 week period, or 2 month, whatever it is, when we start working with you. You and she are in close contact all the time. So that's been really, really helpful. Our clients walk in on move day. We've got the lights on, the music's playing. Bella's signature is an orchid, so we always have an orchid on our table with welcome home to our client that's moving in. My whole staff signs it, and our clients walk in and they're just blown away by. Our goal is really to replicate where they came from now into their new smaller space, and that's our job, is to really have you walk in and go, I'm home. And it's really amazing. It brings tears to our eyes all the time, and we work hard for those tears. So our clients are really amazed at how wonderful it can be. And I really, truly believe you can have the same experience with a senior move manager in your area as well. So that concludes my presentation. And thank you so much for joining me. And thank you again for Westmont for inviting me here today.
Thank you. Sandi, that was absolutely amazing. I learned so much. I took notes. Me personally, with aging parents, we had to go through some moves, and I wish I knew you, because the information that you provided was critical. I'm only sitting, there's a part of me that has so much regret of that process, and because you only have, as an adult child, and you only have one set of parents, and so this isn't something that you do often, and so making those choices, you don't know what you don't know. So I feel like I want to interview you again, because what you provide is very transformational, and it goes beyond the right sizing. It really is almost, it's like therapy and counseling and trust and, transformation. Like I said, there's just so much in it, and the details that you're talking about.
Yeah.
I love your presentation. I just wanted to say thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, it's interesting. The adult kids, it's funny because the adult kids, like myself, they appreciate so much, because a lot of our clients, and that's the beautiful thing about NASM, is National Association of Senior Move Managers, is throughout the United States and Canada, England, and Australia. So we have moved people in and out of San Diego. I've got a huge move coming in from Chicago. We've done New York. I mean, we have done many people throughout the United States. And the beautiful thing is, for us, is we're so handheld that what we like to do is immediately meet the family, let them know we're going to become the kids now for the next 2 weeks. We're your new daughter or son or whatever. And the adult kids absolutely love that they're busy with their lives. They have kids and they live in New York and they can't come out to San Diego. So when they find out that what we are doing, and a lot of those long distance moves, I will then work with a senior move manager in New York or Chicago. I will send her floor plans. She does that end. I tell her all the things I have to have, and it needs to be color coded and numbered. And then she gets the truck and we meet the truck. I have photographs, I have floor plans, and then we do the complete unpack by that long distance. And we've had great communication, and those moves have been fabulous. So it can happen out of area and out of state as well.
I can't see, and I don't want to dominate all the questions, but I just wanted to add, because like with my parents, it's almost like you switch, you're an adult, but then you go back to like you're an infant, or like you're in high school again, and you're responsible for taking care of your parents, and yet you've got this immature emotion that, like when you talked about the medication or taking the pictures and setting it up and creating that home, it's that you can connect with that family or with the seniors, and then transforming them into, without having all of that, the child, like your past lives kind of getting interfering.
Right.
Like, you can bring it into a community. Right. And that, I think, just peace of mind for not only the adult children, but for those, like when you said it brings tears to your eyes, I was very moved at that moment, thinking, yeah, I'm sure for the person moving into the community to see that, here's a place that's been transformed to be comfortable and to be exactly not exactly, but to be that place that they just moved from, but now it's without having all of that anxiety that's associated to it.
Right. So, and it is really amazing to know that you go from, boxes and kind of chaotic on pack day and move day. And then we really try not to have our clients there for safety reasons, because there's usually 5 to 7 of my staff, depending how large the unit is, and my movers as well. And so we ask the clients ahead, go have lunch with your family, go to a movie. We've had single ladies that didn't have a lot of friends, and she, didn't really drive. So one of my staff picked her up. We took her to the movie. We've taken one of my ladies to a spa day because she never did it, just so she could be away and enjoy a little afternoon, and then walk in, and her new home is completely set up. I mean, there's not a box left at all. It is completely set up. And we take care of all those arrangements of shipping things to kids. So those New York kids don't need to come out, because we'll send them the things that they're wanting. And a lot of times it's really interesting. We become the mediator with families sometimes. So we're kind of that buffer that really helps a lot of families during this really, traumatic time in their lives of making a move.
Yeah, no, I keep visualizing when you were sharing what you did. I kept thinking like HD TV, like I'm watching this transformation happening. And then
that's exactly what it's like. It is exactly what it's like when they walk in.
I mean, it's just beautiful. I want to open it up without dominating. Like Cheryl, Kelly, do you want to ask a question? I don't have anything in the chat right now, but I want to, not dominate the stage here.
I do have a question, but anyways, Sandy, your pointers and your tips, oh my God, they're very helpful. Can I tell you that managing or even just implementing COVID precautions and all that, especially when you have a move-in coming in, so there's a lot to do on our part and the family's part. But at the same time, when you speak about your protocols, boxes, you're not using any recycled boxes. Hey, I do that sometimes. I didn't even know that when you do that, the virus stays there for 72 hours. So those are great tips.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also great.
Thank you.
That on your behalf and in your staffing, you're doing all these precautions, because we have our own too. And families are even going to be more grateful if they know that besides us and them, the Rightsizing or your agency that's helping them have their own, which is great. And it makes it even safer for them that they did have a good decision in moving, not later, but now.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, it's just for us paperwork, because when we do move in, there's a lot of paperwork, and it's easy if you have done that checklist. If you can just give that to us, put that in their move-in, it's even better. So thank you. And I do have a question with you. Have you experienced at one point in time moving resident stuff to a community, and after that there's bed bugs? Have you experienced any bed bugs at all?
After that, there was what? I'm sorry.
I think bed bugs.
Yeah.
The question was on bed bugs. Have you ever?
Oh, God. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, we have. We've had it more than once.
All right, let me hear it. I mean, how did you manage to? Because I've had quite a few in other community, and let me tell you, they're expensive. Treatment and all that.
Yeah.
We would have to report it to licensing. And so when you've had your experience, walk me through and how you have dealt with that, the communication to the family, to us, and all that.
Well, we've had it in the past, quite a ways back, and it was very interesting because now all the movers, it's a California law. They have to bag the bed. And then the communities that we're moving them into, they are not removing those bags. So if they're in there, they would die in there anyway. But we had one incident into a very high-end community, and it was pretty shocking. But it took a toll on that community pretty quickly. We did not know it moving them in at that time. Now we kind of look for things like that, but we did not know it when we moved that couple into that community, and they didn't know it either. And it became quite an issue, and they had to bring in the professional cleaning companies, and I mean it was a big ordeal. Now we do look for that, and I won't move a bed without a bag on it, and most of the communities won't either that we've found now.
That's great.
Yeah. We have a question here. Oh, sorry. Oh,
no, I just want to mention that it's really a long process of doing the treatment for that, and they have to go back and do another recheck, and those are the things that we report to the licensing. And so it's great that it's not great that you have experienced it, but it's great that you have, and you now have a plan in place. So thank you, Sandy.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Cheryl. We have a question here. It's is your service affordable to seniors? So does this cover all budgets? So low or moderate, high-end senior budgets?
So what we do is myself and I have sales and marketing gal. What we do is we go out and do the consultation. We do a 1-hour free consultation And then we leave them with an estimate. It's a range. We charge hourly. So when we leave there, after we do a walkthrough, we have the floor plan usually with us, so we know the size space they're going to move into. We see how much stuff they actually have, how much liquidating we're going to need, what services that they're wanting, because we have people, we do shopping for people. I mean, we take care of everything. Anything that they need for this transition, we do. So it just depends on what they want. So it could run anywhere. I mean, we just did we did an in-house move, so I won't go by that because they just moved to a memory care or assisted living from independent. But we've done small moves because it's hourly. Whatever we don't do just comes off the top. So it could be anywhere from, $800 to $1,000 up to, we've done some very big units and big home to homes, and it could run up to 10,000. So
Yeah.
It just depends. It just depends, and what kind of services they want. I always say that adage, you get what you pay for. And I think a funny thing is I had these siblings that were all working with me this a while back, and they're like, gosh, Sandy, you see, it's so expensive. Well, after we finished, they saw everything that we did, and those kids, adult kids, didn't have to do anything. They came back and said, oh my gosh, you don't charge enough. So, we think it's very fair with what we do because we put our heart and soul into it, and it is a one-on-one. It's not like you call the office and you're going to get an answering machine. There's somebody always there at my office. Your team lead, you're going to have her phone number, her email. Every day she puts out emails to the family. Here's what we did today with mom and dad. Everybody knows what's going on. There's great
Thank you.
So that's
awesome.
the pricing. Yeah, that's kind of the pricing.
I think because you're doing that consultation, it's so beneficial. It's really customized to meet the need of that individual.
It is.
I know my parents
do
a lot, but I wish you were there because it would have been very helpful for our family, because in the end, from my experience, what we were able to, we lost a lot of money and precious, things because of the way it was really handled. We didn't have access to go in and collect those things. There was no, there wasn't a estate sale, but it just liquidated everything. And then what we walked away with was really not, it was almost an insult to what happened. And so someone like you that really, it's very traumatizing. And not to be negative, but, I feel that for someone like you to come in and really respect a family's precious, history. It's really everything.
Oh, absolutely.
It's what you grew up with. So,
right.
You have.
And that's what we're known for. We listen to the stories and hear the how that scratch got on that table is very important to Mary, and we want to know that too. And, we can't hug anymore, but that's the hardest thing because my whole staff is very huggy, but, now we're kind of doing this, but those things are very, very important to them because it is traumatic, and the sorting is the hardest. The right sizing is the hardest part. And for those clients that can't let go, then they say, well, I'll get a storage. I'm not a fan of storage. I will do it, of course, but I really let them know that 90% of my clients that can't make choices and they end up putting all these things in storage, they're just writing a check every month to that storage company, and they never are going back in to look at it and see what's there. So our job, and my team leads all know through serious training that I've done with them, is you are their resource. You are the one that really needs to explain to them, this is our space, this is what we have. And we have so many great ways of sharing. We do Rachel's Battered Women's. We do Rachel's House in downtown San Diego. We have lots of charities that we love to donate to. So, there's a lot of things that we try to talk with them, our seniors, because it is a mentality. They have to get themselves in a mental state to get ready to let go of some of these things. And we still have our people that don't, and we say, okay, we're going to pack it, we're going to bring it, but we're going to put do not unpack because I don't have a space for it. And we'll leave it in your, storage garage or in a closet. And, I can go back a year later and those things are still sitting there and have not been unpacked. So we really try to educate and really let our seniors know this is the time and place, and we're here to help. We're here to help in any way we can. And once they know that they're donating to a really worthy cause, we do a lot for the women that are out trying to get jobs. We have military families here that are just starting out, just got married, they have nothing. So my clients are so generous. They love giving to the young military families that don't, are getting married and they don't have anything. So we have lots of, when I started my business, I thought I need to get my tools in my toolbox. I need to get all the players in the senior industry that are really well known in the industry, because 10 years ago I was just starting out because I was a school teacher. I had no idea I'd be doing what I'm doing now. And, I thought I need to surround myself with these very professional, educated people that are in the senior industry. And those are my go-to, because I'm really good at what I do, but I'm not an estate sale person. I have knowledge of it all, but I have great people that I refer to for those. And we set that all up for our clients. They don't have to make those phone calls. We do it all.
I think it's wonderful. Really, the word that just oozes from you is trust. It's that you really, and you care, that you're authentic, and it's in a world that moves so quickly, especially during COVID, it's really hard to find that type of connection, and to find someone that comes in and brings a team in and trains them to know, to connect with the family and to really respect that. I think it's wonderful. I want to just ask one last question. We're kind of at that 3 o'clock time frame, but you're in San Diego, we're up in Milpitas, we're about to launch this beautiful, open up a beautiful property. So what's your last recommendation for families here, to know where to navigate, what to do next as they look at right sizing for themselves?
Well, one of the first things that comes to my mind, that you're opening a brand new community, because we're working with one here as well, and my company is doing every single one of the move-ins. I got a contract with the company, but the beautiful thing is it's a brand new community, and so it is so safe and such a great place to go into. My staff feels safe working in a brand new community as well. So moving and opening a new community, I had so many clients that had sold their home, and we already packed up their things, that we put them in storage because the community was a little behind in opening. So a lot of my clients had sold their home, their things were in storage, and we put them up in I shop for vacation by owners. I had some at really cute little places that came from, out of area, and we put them in vacation by owners for a little bit. I got some really great rates at some of the hotels nearby, to house my folks, because they were out of their house and their things were there. But the one thing I can share is everyone that has moved into this brand new community, they absolutely love it. They wish they had done it sooner. And I just can't stress enough to all the clients out there that don't put it off, because it is a beautiful way to share your life with people of like minds, and you all come from the same era, and you have so much to share and give to one another, that my ladies that put it off, and then sometimes a health issue, now their kids are telling them they have to go to assisted living, and they're going to go here, they can't go independently. So don't put it off. That's all I can really say is, make that move. It's a beautiful thing to do.
Sandi, you are awesome. So thank you so much. This has been.
You are so welcome.
You just really just boosted my day and uplifted me, and it was just an enlightening dialogue. But then also your presentation, just really valuable information. Again, I can't reiterate enough that I wish I knew you 3 years ago.
Because usually when I'm doing this, I've got 60 to 100 people in a room, and they're throwing questions at me and everything else, and we're interjecting. But this was great, and I'm really happy that you asked me to do it, and I'm very honored that Jack called me, and I'm hoping that we can do something together too.
Absolutely. You're such a subject matter expert, but just a great and overall just wonderful person. So I wanted to thank you again for Rightsizing for Seniors webinar today.
Thank you.
From
so much. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right.
So, okay, you take care. And I am going to show last screen here. If anyone would like to contact Sandi with questions about Bella Reflections, I'm thinking it is on the screen now. Can everyone see it? No? Yeah? Can you see the screen? Oh, can
It's on, Mickey.
It's on?
Yep.
Okay, sorry. I'm getting used to share screen. So yes, if anybody would like to contact Sandi, and an hour is not enough. And you know, this has just been such a pleasure and an honor for us.